Oleksandr Usyk just boxed Rico Verhooven as a 5 billion to 1 favorite. I mean, the actual odds were crazy wide. Let's look at the actual odds here. If I can get all these fucking ads out of my face. I see minus 3,000. I saw it much wider than that, guys. To being down coming into the 11th round. I mean, Oleksandr Usyk was getting outboxed by the kickboxing champ who has one boxing match heading into the 11th round. That was absolutely insane. You could listen to the commentators meltdown during the thing. I thought he'd be out of there within the first 5 rounds. Me too. You know, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Usyk's footwork looks bad. Dude, Usyk looked 39 overnight. That was crazy. And I know the commentators saying he looks softer and whatnot. I mean, he's up against a big heavyweight. I don't see why he's got to be super lean. He looked in shape to me, and he showed his cardio by coming on strong in the championship rounds. Rico Verhooven got fucked over. I'll walk you guys through it. First couple rounds, Usyk gives him away. I just feel like this is a strategic mistake, you know? I feel like this is you've seen this happen multiple times now where world champion boxers will welcome in MMA fighters or kickboxers or whoever, right? And they take the first couple rounds off. Look at what Anthony Joshua did. Anthony Joshua just went out there and exterminated Francis Ngannou. That is clearly a good pathway for a puncher like Anthony Joshua. I guess some of the more Floyd Mayweather types who don't feel like they have as much power, maybe Usyk, decide, okay, I'm going to let this guy, you know, punch himself out a little bit, hit some air here, and then I'll start coming on strong. Wasn't working for Usyk because Usyk couldn't quite get out of the way of everything. He was getting hit with some clubbing shots in those first 2 rounds, 2 obvious rounds for the challenger, Rico Verhooven. And then in the 3rd round, you see Usyk switch it on, and they got into some fucking exchanges, and it got fun, you know? Rico Verhoeven's got this weird boxing style where he hunched over a little bit, and you could hear in the commentary, too, they're calling for the uppercuts, and you saw Usyk look for some uppercuts, but it didn't seem to be a part of his strategy because his combinations really weren't leading him there. He wanted to throw jabs. He wanted to put straight rights in. He wanted to do his usual kind of swing. It wasn't working. Rico Verhooven was just on his fucking case, right? Head down. I would say chin tucked, really head down, right? And then just busting him up, whether it be a straight shot, whether it be a looping shot, just hunting. And that really worked because Usyk's footwork was not as, he didn't set traps the same way we've seen him do before, right? His pivots weren't as on point. As soon as he creates an angle, he wasn't boxing off of those angles really nicely. He would kind of hit an angle and Rico would catch up. And then when they would exchange, Rico was hitting him just as well, if not better, right? A couple rounds certainly for Usyk. I maybe gave Usyk 4 of those rounds and Rico 6 heading into the 11th, just on my first watch. I don't think the scorecards were insane. So the scorecards were 95-95. So that's even coming into the 11th round. And then even 95-95 coming in the 11th round. And then one judge had it 94-96 for Rico Verhooven, scoring that 10th round rightly for Rico Verhooven. These, if anything, are generous, you know, for Oleksandr Usyk, which when you get these crossover fights, you kind of expect, right? Like, does the boxing community really want to see this pro kickboxer who's nobody's heard of? Right? We've all heard of him. I mean, if you're a big MMA fan, you know who Rico Verhooven is. He's been a sparring partner for Tyson Fury for a long time. Rico Verhooven is trained with many solid MMA fighters, Tom Aspinall, and, you know, you've seen Rico Verhooven around, even if you don't watch Glory Kickboxing. However, in the boxing community, you think they give a fuck about Rico Verhooven? Boxing? Kickboxing. You know what I mean? It's just, it's way more famous. There's way more money in boxing, which is why this was another reason why this was a big deal for Rico Verhooven. Anyway, they're going into, right, the 11th round. Oleksandr Usyk finally moves back, and catches Rico Verhooven clean. Rico Verhooven goes through the ropes. I mean, it was a solid knockdown. It was a very legit, beautiful knockdown. You saw Egypt, really, it was just a bunch of people who flew into Egypt, but up on their feet, right? For those of you that don't know, this shit was going down in front of the Pyramid of Giza. It was sick. It was a really cool, it looked like a Mortal Kombat scene, you know? Looked like a spot where Scorpion's going to fight Sub-Zero. But it was Oleksandr Usyk defending the heavyweight title after, you know, Daniel Dubois, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. I mean, these are the last three opponents of Oleksandr Usyk. Now he's coming in against Rico Verhooven. Maybe he didn't take him seriously enough. I don't know. He certainly didn't look like he had the same pep in his step as he did in those fights I just mentioned. He hurts him. Rico goes through the ropes. Now, I don't know why nobody's talking about this, but this is a big deal. Rico smiles. He does the ref goes, "Where's your mouthpiece?" Rico goes, smiles, and there's no mouthpiece. I'm seeing teeth, right? So now the ref's got to decide, do I start them back because this guy's hurt and Usyk deserves to have a shot at his hurt opponent instead of giving this guy a break, right? Or do I do my job per the athletic commission, make sure this fighter has a mouthpiece in? He goes option B. Where's the mouthpiece, right? The corner comes in. The corner's fumbling with it. Brilliant. I don't hope that was fake. I'll take that back before I say it. But like, yo, like, you know, if your guy's hurt, you got the world heavyweight champ ready to fuck his shit up. You know, there's only a few seconds left in the round. Really short time. Less than 10 seconds left in the round. And so he's trying to put the mouthpiece. He's like, oh shit, he's fumbling with the mouthpiece. Buy your boy some time. Have we not learned from Yoel Romero with Stoolgate? Okay. He got his shit rocked by Tim Kennedy. His corner's like, what, Bell? What? No, we're putting an ice pack on. Hold up. Where's the mouthpiece? You know, act a fool, act stupid. So you get your boy some more time. He's fumbling with the mouth. Okay. Oh, here's the mouthpiece. There you go. Puts it in. And then the refs, you know, got a sense of urgency. Okay. And you can see Usyk's there. Usyk's in the center of the ring. Did the ref make him back up like you're supposed to do? No. He goes, let's go. I'm good with all that, by the way. I mean, you know, sucks for Usyk, but that made sense. Usyk comes in, puts a couple more shots on him. 2 landed. Watch that ending sequence. Oh, he was busting him up. Come on. He was missing half those shots, you know, and Rico was hurt. Make no mistake. But it's the heavyweight championship of the world. You guys are in front of the Pyramid of Giza. Okay? 3 pyramids, right? Pyramids, plural. I haven't been there yet. I look forward to going one day. It's on the bucket list. This is for all the marbles. You don't stop a fight early. Ref, what are you doing? The referee gets in there before the round ends. A second left. Some people even debate that. They say he got in there after the ding for the round. Gets in there and gives Usyk the victory. Dirty ass boxing as usual. Dirty ass boxing as usual. They come through for their boy. They stop the fight early. And Rico Verhooven is such a gentleman. He's such a nice guy. He kind of gives a like, oh man, you know, I really wanted to win those millions of dollars and change, you know, the story of my life, you know, really wanted to go down in history here. Oh, shucks, you know, doesn't protest that much, which makes, like, I'm looking back at it. I'm like, is he that hurt? No. Rico Verhooven was in the shape of his life. Rico Verhooven was ready to die that night. You know, they robbed him. They took that from him. Is the referee's paid? No, come on. The referee's a boxing referee. He does not want to play any role in assisting this 1-0 boxer coming into boxing and beating the #1 pound for pound, the heavyweight champion of the world. They don't want to see that shit. They don't want to see that shit. They want to see Usyk dominate. And Usyk, at moments of that fight, was getting dominated. Usyk eating, like, there was a straight right hand that hit him, was like the 8th round. Boom, snapped his head back. Like, oh, shit, dude. You're getting clocked by this big, heavy, you know, aggressive, yet kind of patient Rico Verhooven. Great job by Team Fury, you know. Great job by Rico Verhooven's team, you know. Just really prepared him well. It was a kind of a interesting adjustment he made, but you know, I've gone through that myself in my first ever MMA fight. I had never seen this guy fight. He has no fights. He has never seen me fight. I have no fights. So we go to fight. I'm like, all right, what's your style? You know, it's like you're figuring it out on the fly. I love, like, Greg Jackson and Team Jackson Wink, John Jones, right? I love studying tape. You know how John Jones pulled out of the Chael Sonnen fight because they didn't have enough time to study tape? It's like, it's so nice to be able to watch people's fights, see their tendencies, see what they're good at, see what they're not good at, formulate. Then I go in there very prepared, you know? Then I go in there ready to take the test, confident I'm going to ace it. When you just got, you know, you got to adjust on the fly, it's hard. It's hard. And Oleksandr Usyk had to do a little bit of adjusting on the fly, you know? Rico Verhooven, I was watching back his glory fights. He likes to miss his left hook big, miss his uppercut big, high guard. That's not how he fought. That's not how he boxed. He made major adjustments to his style. He brought everything a floor down. He took that fucking long-ass neck, got a thick-ass neck too, but he took that thing and he tucked it down here. It's not the classic tucking your chin. He, like, ducked his head, and he had this style going, which, you know, the commentary was on it. Your boy was on it, watching it, of course. I'm like, uppercut, right? And Usyk tried to throw a couple uppercuts. He did hit him with one. It was the 3rd or 4th round, but clearly was not ready to, you know, you want to put combos together that lead to uppercuts. So somebody rolls under your lead hook, boom, you put that uppercut on him, right? You know, there are shots where you can guide people in. Clearly, Usyk was not ready for Rico to be down here like this. How many times are we going to see somebody come into boxing and do really fucking well against the best boxers in the world until we start to draw some fucking conclusions? Okay? Okay. You know? Like, Conor McGregor goes in against Floyd Mayweather, gasses out hard late, right? But early on, right, when Floyd was taking rounds off, touching Floyd with shots, hit Floyd with a big uppercut, hit him with a couple key punches, was winning some of those early rounds when Floyd started to battle back a little bit. Floyd, of course, strategically waited till Conor was tired. It did make sense what Floyd did. Tyson Fury pretty much lost to Francis Ngannou. I know that's fucking crazy to say out loud. That happened, guys. It was a draw, but come on, man. The heavyweight champ, Tyson Fury, smoking Deontay Wilder, you know, in a good fight with Oleksandr Usyk afterwards. Goes out there, you know, beat Klitschko way back, right? This very high-level heavyweight. Goes out there and gets in an even fight, a draw with Francis Ngannou, you know? Anthony Joshua, as I said earlier, he got on the gas pedal. He put Francis out. That was fantastic. And here we go again. Oleksandr Usyk, right, steps in there with the kickboxing champ of the world and was down going into the 11th round. That's just facts. That's just facts. That is nuts. Is boxing fake? You know what I mean? Is boxing, are they not as good as we thought? Right? What would happen if Oleksandr Usyk went to go fight Rico Verhooven in K1 kickboxing? Does anybody have any disagreement to the statement that he would get fucked up? You realize how hard he would be getting kicked in the leg, kicked in the stomach, kneed in the stomach, kicked upside the head. I mean, do you guys realize how much of a wrecking ball going through a building that would be. Rico Verhooven versus Oleksandr Usyk in glory. He would murk him. Does anybody realize how one-sided Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury would be in the UFC? You guys remember Renan Ferreira underneath Francis? Can you imagine Tyson Fury down there? Boom, boom, boom. I mean, my God. I think I have to recalibrate how I assess these crossover fights. Because I was shocked when Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou was close. And I'm shocked seeing how Rico Verhooven versus Oleksandr Usyk. Oleksandr Usyk was down heading into the last 2 rounds, right? Clearly got a clean knockdown in 11 and a bullshit stoppage. So I really wanted to see 12 still, you know, even if, even if Rico won 12, he wouldn't win because it would be a 10-8 11th. But who knows how 12 would go, right? We should have seen it. Okay, the referee stole something from us because the referee doesn't know what the cards look like, right? So he's like, I'm gonna be hot on the trigger stopping this. It was the same vibe when they read, McGregor his Miranda rights when he's fucking doing the face off. The referee's just like, you're supposed to be looking back and forth at the fighters, but the idea was, oh, Floyd's been here so many times, so I'm just going to talk to Conor. I'm going to straight talk to Conor. I'm going to read him. So when you come out, you touch gloves. When I say stop, you stop, and it's just like, bro, why are you embarrassing Conor right now? What are you doing here? What type of psychological games are you playing? Same energy. Oh, I'll be quick to stop it because this guy's a kickboxer. Fuck you. It's the fucking world title on the line. You couldn't even say that in the Floyd Conor fight here. And the Floyd Conor fight was a massive fight. Same thing. Let him fight, which they did. They stopped it when McGregor was fucking so gassed. But in this one, that was bullshit. Bullshit stoppage. Fuck you, boxing. Absolute bullshit stoppage. That sucks. Rico Verhooven deserved to see one more round. And it is what it is, Oleksandr Usyk is a fantastic fighter. He absolutely did not look, as fast as, he didn't have that. I think pep in your step is a way to say it. Bounce is a way to say it too. Usyk is, if you want to talk about heavyweights being on the balls of their feet, Usyk is a butterfly. He is fantastic at sliding in, sliding out. And just is, you could see the hours of jumping rope. Like if you guys watch old Muhammad Ali tape, Muhammad Ali's jumping rope or hitting the heavy bag or sparring. There's no mitts. Nowadays, everybody's got the fucking pool noodles out and they're doing the mitts, right? I slap people with some pool noodles myself, training fighters. But this is like really old school level of jump rope, balls of your feet. He's moving a little Ali-ish in there, right? Just because he's so much on the balls of his feet, so athletic. This was the first fight I saw Usyk where I'm like, where'd that go? You saw shades of it. Even when he got the knockdown, like the way he slid back, I call that a float. When you just kind of slide back like that on the balls of your feet and you're ready to capitalize. Boom, you're ready to throw off that back foot. You slide back, pop, pop. You keep your head in between your feet, though. You don't pull, right? Floyd loves to pull, right? Usyk will just slide his feet back, pop, 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 and then he's got his head in between his feet, so he's ready to go. He's balanced. He's ready to fire with power. That's how he, dropped Rico, and he did it in round 11. So, like, respect. But, dude, pretty bad performance by Usyk. On the other side, fantastic by Rico Verhooven. Rico Verhooven, the younger man, right? Usyk, 39 years old. Rico Verhooven, just a couple years younger, 37. Yeah. I mean, the active champion of glory. And, Usyk, Daniel Dubois, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Derek Chisora, that's who he's fought since COVID, and then he goes in there as a, one of the most lopsided lines I've ever seen. And so I think I wasn't the only one who was surprised to see, holy shit, Rico Verhooven was in that bitch. Crazy. What say you? Chat. What up, guys? Justice for Rico. For real, bro. That shit was terrible right by the ref. I'm glad you guys saw it too. What up, Scottsdale, Arizona? Unhinged. I hope I stay hinged today. Yeah, dude. Free Rico for real. You put $50 on Rico, bro. I was thinking that. I was gonna slide, you know, a little something on Rico. But I didn't. And so I would have been extra pissed, dude. You know, if I threw a little 50 on Rico just to fuck around. And then it, you know what I mean? I'm supposed to get however many hundreds of dollars back. I saw lines way wider than that, guys. I saw crazy wide lines on that. I'm trying to like remember it now. Let me see. Rico versus Usyk lines, money line. Yeah, minus 2,500, minus 3,000. I saw it wider than that. Can't fucking remember. Minus 3,000. I mean, minus 3,000 is crazy, you know? It's fucking crazy. Did it look like minus 3,000? These boxers suck, dude. What the fuck is going on? For real. For real. If Floyd goes into MMA, does he make it out of the first round? No. He's going to eat a spinning back kick and puke. You know? Connor'd be out there. Boom! Put a shin upside his head. He'd be out. It'd be a wrap, son. Are you kidding me? You know, this debate, this old debate, oh, the most technical, you know, combat sport is boxing. They're the highest level. Bullshit. Bullshit. And you could, the proof is in the pudding, okay? People are coming from MMA and having a draw with the heavyweight champion. We got a guy coming from K1 kickboxing up in the championship rounds against Usyk. Get the fuck out of here with boxing's the most technical, you know? I gotta say that's officially disproven. These guys are not the best. These fights are way close. Slight caveat, it is a little bit easier to prepare for boxing because it's only this and this versus MMA. You got to learn how to wrestle. You got to learn how to kick. You got to learn how to elbow. You got to learn how to knee. You got to learn how to shoot takedowns, how to defend takedowns. You got to learn submissions off your back. You got to learn how to stand up. Got to learn how to hold people down. Got to learn how to defend your neck. I mean, there's a lot, right? The fence, I didn't even mention. Jesus, I mean, you go on forever, right? So as to where these MMA fighters and kickboxers do a lot of boxing. Nevertheless, that corrupt ref single-handedly ruined boxing's reputation even more. Bro, it's been, boxing's reputation's been dunked on, dude. I think you don't give a fuck. The fix was in. I don't think so, bro. I think it's simpler than that, guys. Look, I used to work for the XFO. I still do, actually. We're going to have a show in August 8th or whatever that Saturday is. I'll be back in Illinois to commentate. Yep, August 8th. I'll be back in Illinois to commentate for XFO. I've told this story before. I think it's a good time to tell it again. I was sitting cage side, and there was a decision that I heavily disagreed with, okay? And so the decision went off. It was amateurs, so clearly there's no money on the line. There's no fixing it. You can't bet on it. You know, it was a bullshit decision. I saw it. I ripped the decision up on the microphone. I heard somebody yelling at me. I take my headset off. It's one of the judges sitting cage side, okay? Who I know on a first name basis, but I'll leave that out. It's not important. He's yelling at me, cage side, you know, telling me to do my job and not judge the fight, you know? So I'm yelling back at him. I'm like, my job is to tell people when I see a bullshit decision. You know what I mean? Like, my job is to tell people how I saw that fight. I'm going to do commentary. I'm going to commentate on the fact that you just robbed this guy. You know what I mean? Fuck you. I didn't say that. But, you know, it's like, so I've seen crazy robberies and delusional judges cage side for amateur events, right? You're doing this at the highest level, but they're still human beings. It doesn't mean the fix was in. Just because I see a UFO doesn't mean it's aliens. You know what I'm saying? Just because you see a referee do some bullshit like that, my instinct tells me that referee says, fuck somebody coming in here who's only had one pro boxing match and beating the heavyweight champ. I'm gonna err on the side of helping the heavyweight champ. I think that was the natural bias. That was what I saw. Could I be wrong? Of course. I had bet the draw, which was about to cash. Dixon, you would have had nice odds on that, huh? The bell had rung. The round was over when he stopped it. I've heard that, guys. I gotta watch that back because I've seen it a couple times and it looked to me like right before the bell. I don't know. I would look that back. I don't know. He's appealing and he's going to win the appeal, but nobody will care. We already saw what happened in the live broadcast, you know? Imagine the people that bet on Rico. Dude, I mean, I think a lot of people who bet on Rico were just fucking around. And then as they're watching it, they're like, oh my God, I'm about to get plus 2,500. Let's go. You know? Jesus, dude. Yeah, Vegas was, you know, Courage the Cowardly Dog with the teeth chatter. You know? Finch love all kinds of tape. Scotch tape, duct tape, electrical tape, double-sided tape, masking tape, foam tape. What the fuck? What? It made me laugh. Boxing is so corrupt and has been for decades. You know, their reputation precedes them. I almost bet Usyk at plus 175 in round 10 because I knew there was no way they let Rico win, but I pussied out. He's like, I think it's fucking rigged, but I'm not sure. Fuck, I was right. Fuck. All right. Tito's mad Dana won't give him tickets to the White House event. Why would Dana give Tito Ortiz tickets to the White House event after Tito has talked shit about Dana for 20 years? Guys, I love every single one of you. Thank you for tuning in. I did have a little bet on, not even a little bit. I had a bet on under 5 rounds. And so you could tell I was, you know, it was not the fight I expected. But after watching it, it should be. You know, I think we have to learn from watching this shit. Like, even though Usyk was 39 years old and I don't think fought his best fight, they're a little overrated. You know, the Joshuas, the Usyks, the Tyson Furies, they're a little overrated. High level athletes coming from mixed martial arts or kickboxing, or, you know, they can come in and compete with them. We can't be writing them off like this. So I'm gonna factor that into the equation. You got to factor in what type of bullshit we're dealing with the boxing judging and referees and whatnot too. You know, just I'm trying to give some love to Rico Verhooven. You know, Rico Verhooven fought the fight of his life. He was busted up coming out of that ring. I mean, they got in a fight. You know, you could see in his post-fight interviews, like, Rico Verhoeven's got welt here, fucked up, no blood, he's bruising, they got in a fight out there. Those are two big guys going at it, entertaining us in Egypt. And man, he gave the champ all he could handle. That was fucking awesome. Right back on the horse. We're going to be betting on UFC fights. That's what the fuck we do around here. I will see you guys tomorrow for my most confident picks for the UFC fight night coming up. See you guys then.